welcome back.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Let's start this podcast this week off on a brighter note than last week. I think we were a bit negative last week.
Woo!
Although talking about last week, how's your week been? Have you implemented any things?
It's actually got worse. It's actually got worse. So we're talking about we need to drink more water and make time and
care of yourself.
Yeah, no. My diary has been absolutely ramo. I've extended my day to like literally 3 days in one for me.
Yeah. It's not even like till normal 5-6 o'clock. Like you got home at like 8 o'clock.
It was late the other night. So no lunch breaks, no water at all. Great week.
I was doing water, I must admit. So I started off Monday because I didn't do anything over the weekend, but I was like Monday I even wrote a list of things to do,
like a checklist,
a tick list on I've got that Mrs. Hinch's to-do list checklist thing that I ordered. I've had that book since COVID.
Oh, now well done. You've really done a lot.
Clearly used it.
Unless it's got thousands of pages.
But it's good because it's got a to-do list with little checkpoints in it. So I was like, right, drink water first thing instead of a cup of tea. Tick, did that. And then it's like, do my face routine, eat lunch, take supplement, all those things. So
simple things, but you actually have to write a list to check it off to make sure you do it.
I'm more likely going to do it if I've got a checklist.
Yes. How'd you get on?
And to like write it down. So Monday started off good. I did like probably 3/4 of it. Tuesday dropped 1 or 2. Wednesday I didn't even write down. Apart from have the water instead of cup of tea first thing in the morning. So that's done every day this week.
That's really good. That's probably the best thing. Yeah. Apart from eating lunch too. You should eat lunch.
Eat lunch I've done this week as well because I've had less meetings. So eating lunch and drinking water first thing I've implemented.
That's the best then.
But I haven't done my facial routine. I've not done my Pilates every evening. I've just done it a couple of days.
See, a facial routine, I just do mine in the morning. I don't know if that's a routine. I just wash my face.
Yeah, if you do it every morning. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, because I'll get up and then like I'm with the kids and then I'm getting them ready. And then by the time I finish getting them ready, I'm like jumping into work. So I don't even sometimes do that because at the moment, because of being sleep deprived, me and Liam are tag teaming. So it's like one of us gets up with the kid, the other one stays in bed. Well, so that would be when I wash my face.
You saying that about being sleep deprived. How did your little plan go? Trying to
So Hayden watched the podcast last week.
Yes.
And he thought, oh, poor mum, getting up at 6:30. Well, that's just not very nice, is it? So I'm going to make her really appreciate 6:30. So I'm going to get up at 4.
Oh my
and 5. And I'm going to stay wide awake for an entire hour.
That's middle of the night, isn't it?
That is, that's not even like I'm going to just get up.
Yeah, that's middle of the night. Especially because like, what was it, the day after or the day after that, you messaged me like, I went to bed at 8:30 and I was like, oh my God, I've just got up. And it was 11.
So, after the podcast, we said how tired we were. So I was literally, I think I was on the sofa, like falling asleep. I just put both boys to bed and Leah Kason was still up. Hayden had gone to bed and he was like, just go to bed. And I was like, I can't go to bed yet. And
it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. Yeah. Even though I'm literally just going to sit there trying to stay awake. He was like, just go to bed. So I was like, fine. So I actually went to bed at like 7:30. I think by the time I'd fell asleep, it was about 9 o'clock. So slept, woke up a few times, but not much. Like went back to sleep. Slept the whole way through, and then Hayden got up. I think that morning, probably about 5:45, 6, something like that. So I got up with him, and it was the weekend, so I waited a little bit till it was like 11, half 11, and messaged you like, went to bed at 8:30, like because we were so tired, and then got up at 6, and then you were like. Literally just woke up.
11.
11:15.
I know, like that's like
you went. I'm actually still lying in bed.
I could not believe it myself. You know, like I thought my clock had stopped or something. Like seriously, I could genuinely not believe it.
Probably had the same amount of sleep, but I just went to bed early and got up early. Yes. And you went to bed normal and then slept in.
Yeah. But that's late for my hands. Very.
I was going to say, but then Lexi was out.
Yes, and Morgan would have just chilled
himself out.
Same thing.
So
obviously Mitch was up. Mitch
exactly.
Sleep past from his 7.
Exactly.
But
so he's up, and
it's usually just things wake you up. The sun, the light, just general,
hearing everyone.
Movement, just because it's time to get up. Normally, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was shocked, but
clearly
you weren't my friend that day. Was you?
But no, as soon as you replied saying that you literally just woke up, I actually put we're now not friends.
Yeah, you did not like me today. I wouldn't have liked you this way around, to be fair.
Oh, but no, I can't believe it. Like, I jinxed it, moaning about 6:30. I'd literally give me 6:30 and I'd be happy.
No.
This last week.
2 hours before, good, do you?
Like, wide awake at 4:00. Like,
yeah, that's middle of the night, that.
Yeah, not even being able to like try and rock it back, like fighting me, rolling, jumping, shouting, screaming.
So that's stuck now, or was that like a one?
No, that's been about 3 nights.
Oh, no.
So it's like not even just been a one-off. It's been and again we've let him sleep as much as he wanted in the day. We've took a nap away. We've done 2 days now with 2 naps. So I'm hoping he sleeps through. But it's like,
oh well, we've had a good week then, haven't we? What about your orders? Any use of it? Any good?
No, they've not arrived yet. So my natural deodorant's on its way. I've had an email confirmation. It's on its way. But the other one,
I was only missing.
I got 2 or 3 emails from the natural deodorant thing to say, right, it's been shipped.
Yeah,
it's on its way. Yeah. And ahead of you receiving it, here's what to expect. Because they did say, I think I mentioned it, for the first 2 to 4 weeks, like you'll find yourself like a bit icky and you just have to get through it. Because what aerosol does is it blocks your sweat glands, which is why you don't sweat.
Wow.
But what natural deodorant does is it still allows you to sweat, but it makes it smell nicer. Okay. Something like that. Yeah. But basically, yeah, we're blocking our sweat glands, which doesn't sound very good. No. Anyway, so no, that's on his way. And then I thought, well, I'm getting loads of emails from this one.
Yeah.
So I checked my emails for the supplements, and I've not had an email confirmation. They took the money out of my bank. So to be confirmed, I may have been scammed.
That makes, do you know what you say, mate? Scammed, because it reminds me of Mitch. Mitch doesn't really order online or anything like that, book anything online. He's a go-to place and pay for it, and that's it. Done. And he, not long ago, he did it on his own, basically ordered something for himself on his own, all on his own, and he did it and it was good. It hasn't arrived. This was like months ago. I was like, no, I think you've been scammed. I really think you've been scammed. Yeah.
It is hard. My mum does it a lot. She sends me through things and I'm like, yeah, that website doesn't look real. Yeah. She's like, really? Know. Liam's quite good at stuff like that. He can see better. I don't always know how to look.
Well, I try and stick to the same thing. But saying that, I've been not scammed. I've been hacked in everything lately. Yeah, all my emails, and then it was Amazon, and then it was, like all different stuff. Like,
it's all connected.
Yeah.
And so if they get hold of your emails, they're into everything.
Yeah. So that's been a bit hard lately. And then some of the obviously different accounts for like the kids games, and they're separate, trying to work out everything has been blocked and locked out. I can't even get into Amazon now because that's totally been like blocked for safety.
Rick was scammed and they got her email and stuff, and then she she's really struggled to get back in. I got hacked, and then Liam managed to quickly get in and kick
that
them
was
out
a social
again.
Media, wasn't it?
That was my social media.
Yeah. But this like my emails and like
Rick got her emails, and then horrible. She was worried about her bank and her phone number and
it's
everything.
A horrible feeling.
Yeah, and obviously it happened to Liam's social media for his work. Gosh. And then he couldn't ever get that back because Meta's
and
crap.
That's years of
that's 10,
building
10, 12 years,
content,
maybe even
and
14
people.
years of followings and posts. And the worst thing is that's how everyone contacted him. Was through Facebook Messenger. And they didn't he flagged it, so you would think that they would, and he reached out to them. He managed to get hold of someone somehow and say like, here's all the proof, this is me, here's my ID, here's this is me. And they were like, okay, we can see all of that, but his Facebook got blocked because of they'd hacked his Instagram and posted something on Instagram, which then got banned.
Right.
And then because it was linked to his Facebook, they blocked both. But
that wasn't him. So
it wasn't him. And even though he proved it was him, exactly. Oh no, sorry, we can't Facebook. Oh no, sorry, we can't because it's Instagram. Yeah, but you own both.
Well, you could do the one. So you could take me off it. You can put
I don't even want the Instagram. Yeah. Completely disconnect the Instagram to the Facebook. I just need the Facebook.
That's what I mean. It scares me, stuff like that, because especially you're in control, but you're not in control. And then when stuff like that happens, well, obviously it's all digital, isn't it? When stuff like that happens, for me with that hack thing, I know it all wasn't. I felt like someone was just watching me all the time. Yeah, I felt like people Oh no, they don't. Just knew where I was, and it just was such a strange feeling.
That's what Rick said. She was just felt so on edge. Like, how much information of mine do you have? Yeah. What do you have access to? What do I need to change? And how do I change things?
And everything was shutting me out. And I was like, this is my stuff.
And she had like flights coming up and things like that. And she was like, well, what? Like, how do they have all of that information? And I can't even get into my emails to get my confirmations for my bookings.
It was horrible. They registered meetings. They ordered stuff off Amazon. Obviously, I managed to cancel.
Liam did that. The people that hacked him spent 400 quid on his PayPal. PayPal instantly refunded it.
But it's just that.
But for Liam, like I say, all his contacts was through there. People didn't really WhatsApp him that much. It was all through Facebook Messenger. And then when he flagged it and they were like, basically, oh, sorry, there's nothing we could do about it. The account is still there.
Yeah, just activate it.
So people are messaging him and they're just not getting a response.
Yeah.
And then when he straight away he created another one, but it's like now there's two. So
who knows? Yeah.
Nobody knows that the other one
could be missing out on so much work.
Oh, 100%. He's not. The minute that account got took down,
being professional, answering his messages or whatever.
100%. He lost loads of work because of that.
Yeah.
And worse, people probably just think he's being ignored.
Yeah. That's what's so risky, isn't it? Because it's some accountability.
Yes.
It's things like that, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, especially big companies.
I know.
Big companies as well. And people don't bother making such a big fuss because they feel like they're not, which we're not going to get anywhere.
You fill my thing full of ads that you make me buy.
Yeah.
And then when I need help, you have no customer service.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like no customer service.
No. Anyway, how else should the rest of your week been?
So
not much sleep.
Yeah, that's been a right killer, and then it just kind of throws you off because you just feel like you've got no energy to do nothing. And then I've got Hayden's birthday tomorrow, his first birthday, so it's like running on those trying to sort everything out. But
you've got a first birthday, I've got an 18th birthday coming up.
That's crazy.
That's mad, isn't it?
That is mad.
That is actually mad. Wow. Yeah, that is mad. So yeah, Mason's signed him up for his driving car.
Oh yeah. Lessons. So how does it work here then? Do they have to do so many hours in the classroom, right? Don't they?
Well, he can't be in a classroom because he hasn't got time to be in a classroom. I know it sounds stupid. He works and he'll be going back to college soon as well. Mm-hmm. So there isn't the time realistically. So there now is an option of like you get a book and then an app. Mm-hmm. And I suppose you read the book and then you go over like what are they called? Like what are they called?
Mock tests.
Mock tests. Things like that. And you just go over that.
But that's the theory.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So he's got to do that first. Got to do the theory. And then practicals. I can't remember what he said because I'm not really there yet. Do you know what I mean? In my head, I'm like, you've got to do the theory first, which is, in my opinion, the harder bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I did mine in England.
Yeah, me too.
And mine was like a multiple, I think there is multiple test here, but just like a multiple test thing and
multiple choice.
That was it. I remember reading it and basically having to do the same thing, reading a book, doing I had a disc to put in my computer to do, didn't we? To do the mock test.
Sounds old.
Yeah. It was. And then sometimes you had to watch a video.
Yeah.
Or listen to something or something like that. But I remember doing mine in England like that. I felt like
from what I remember, there were a few misleading questions as well, but I did manage to pass mine first time.
Yeah, but some of the questions are just, they say it's common sense, but they're just not put in the best bloody way.
I feel like they're misleading. Yeah. Or like there's two that's like really similar or slightly different.
Even here when Mason asked you a question, I don't really know, mate, to be honest with you. It's hard, isn't it? It's not the language. Because
if you put any of us in a car, I don't think you'd pass your test.
The way exactly. So
and probably our practical as well.
Yeah. So the practical, there's probably minimum classes and stuff to be honest.
I think
in England I know there wasn't there?
No,
I was enough.
In England you could literally go and sit in a car and do your test.
I only remember because I couldn't drive then because I remember my granddad paying. I think I had an assessment and then they said, I think you can do it in this many classes. And I remember my granddad, bless him, paying for my lessons, like 10 lessons. You know what I mean? I remember him counting the money out. It's got an envelope that he'd got out from the way they do at the bank. And then, giving me that to do my lessons for my practical. My first practical, I failed.
Did you?
Yeah. I remember, sorry, going back to the theory I passed first time. I think because it's weird. You do the test, you're all in a room on computers. You kind of, whatever, do it.
Yeah.
And then you just walk out when you finish kind of thing. And there was at a desk and no one said anything to me. She was just like, smiled at me like that. I don't even think she smiled at me, to be honest. I don't even know. Just no one really said anything of what am I supposed, do I just sit here and wait? Do I get called back into the room? Like what happens? And obviously now I know what was happening. Something was printing out and she just gave me the paper and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't read the paper. And she was like, read the paper. And I was like, and then it says, oh, congratulations, you have passed. And I was like, oh, okay. I remember going out of the theory building and I think I was getting picked up by, I don't know, a family member at the time. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh, I've got no one to talk to. I feel like I just want to go in the street. Like, I'm just you know what I mean? Like,
don't you feel like a proper adult at that point, though?
And it was my sister, actually. And then she arrived and I was like, there was no one else around though when I walked out that building, you know, like you're looking for somebody just to like you know.
But normally whenever you've opened important information like that, like it's normally up to that point school results and you do it all together, don't you? So
well, I never got to that point, to be fair, but
oh, that's true.
Sorry,
it's probably not a good example.
That was the only thing I had, and nobody
that was the first time you got the pass in something.
And then my practical, the first one I remember going out of the building and they point into saying read out the registration.
Yes, yeah.
Fine, smash that. Such an easy thing to do, but I felt like I was like smashing it. Do you know what I mean? Got in the car, so nervous, so nervous. I remember, and I wasn't a confident like driver. It's not like I knew how to drive.
Lessons,
and I remember the one. Well, I know why I failed the first one because I got to a roundabout and some boy racer literally flew across the roundabout when I was going to go, and instead of just holding my cool and just carrying on, I was like, you know, like this out the thing, and then obviously says you cannot react like that. Why?
He deserves it. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah. And then, oh God, I am going to tell you, but it is quite embarrassing now. I don't know how he held. I don't know if I've told you this. I don't know if I've said this story before, but anyway, I'm going to say it again. I was in the car and he said the windows were steaming up and he said about, can you clear the windows? Well, obviously now I know when the windows steam up, there's a button, isn't there? Open your window, maybe. Or there's a button, isn't there, that helps you to clear your windows. No. I thought he was like catching me out and I didn't know all these buttons. I don't think no one was ever showed me.
I wouldn't have known what to do in that
situation. I looked down and I see a cloth in the door, like the little thing. I was like, I've got it. So I've pulled over, Bill. I've pulled the car over, got the cloth out, started wiping down all the windows. I even got out of the car, opened the boot and like was like this, like wiping all the back window. How he did not piss himself laughing, I'm telling you. I would have
I got this.
Yeah, look at me, Bill. I was so confident. You don't even know how confident I was. Seriously, I was bowling around that car with that cloth. Seriously, right? Got back in the car, put the cloth in. By this time, the front's already steamed up. Do you know what I mean? By the time I've come back, it's already steamed up. Got in the car and I'm thinking, oh, I've done it. Then Karen can't really see anything anyway, carrying on driving. And then obviously he's opened his window to be able to just see. And he said, Tate, just go back. Just go back. Yeah, I didn't pass that one. He thought this woman could not go in a car ever.
Because I could just picture
confidence.
Your cockiness at that age.
Yes.
I got this.
Yeah. Literally just turned 18. Like, I have got it. I don't even need an exam.
Oh my God.
Just give me the car. Yeah, I was so confident. Yeah, seriously though, if I was the driving instructor,
how they keep a straight face.
Yeah, seriously, I would have been absolutely crying, like what the fuck are you doing? Get back in the car. Do you know what I mean? Even just wiping the front.
Let you carry on.
I probably thought, what's she doing? He actually probably thought, what the fuck is she doing? Yeah, so that's my experience. No one else could get any worse than that, can it? So I passed it the second time. Yeah, I was good. Passed it the second time, and that was it. So
I did a crash course where, like, all in the space of a week, I went out for like 4 hours driving every day.
Yeah,
which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think my driving instructor's a bit of a perv as well. Thinking back,
Ross was in between us actually.
Oh, God. But no, like thinking back,
did you actually pass your test, Bill?
I definitely did first time. But you know, like little things, like he would obviously be sat there and he's explaining something to me. So rather than just explain it, he got his pen and he'd put it on my leg and like, where it's like,
why do you need to do that?
This is too far, but it's also
it's not bad.
It's not. At that age, I didn't feel like you could say it to someone older. Whereas now, I would absolutely be like, "Excuse me, personal space."
Yeah.
But
or was he just really overly friendly? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Who knows? Yeah. There wasn't really anything else that stands out apart from that. Yeah. But that was a bit too touchy feely. Yeah. But no. Apart from that, I passed first time. I nearly failed though the first time because you get minors and you get majors, don't you? So like I did nothing major, but if you get 4 or 5 minors in the same category, it's a major, and then you fail. So I nearly done it for speeding.
Oh, Bill.
He was distracted.
Speed in England, you can only go like 10 miles an hour, for goodness sake. You might as well walk fast.
God, I was fucking distracting. So my instructor, they should be quiet, right? And just direct you, and you just focus on what you're doing. Like you're a new driver, whether you've done loads of lessons or not.
I need to concentrate.
Yeah. So
I'm like that now in the garden.
I think he asked me a few questions at the beginning, like maybe just to calm my nerves a bit, which was nice. But he asked me something about what I was doing at college. So I said I was doing like Spanish and law and things, and he went, "Oh, Spanish." And then we started talking about, and obviously I'd lived in Spain at that point because I lived here. Then I went back to England for a little bit, which is why I did my driving back there. And then anyway, he's talking, and then I'm like chatting away because I'm nervous. And then like,
had he done you for speeding?
Yeah, 4 minors I think I had for speeding. I think it was the only minors I got in the whole thing. And like I was getting up to speed, and then I was clocking it, and then like having to bring it back down because he was distracting me.
Yeah. Right, so don't talk to you in the car because we'll go way too far.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you remember like even when you're pregnant, it's like, Bill, does it help? Oh, sorry.
Back in the day when I was on moped. I mean, now.
Oh God, but no, I did.
So so Mason's got his coming up. Hopefully, he has a nice smooth run.
Yeah, I'm sure he will because, like I say, I think it helped like having a moped. Like,
it certainly helped.
Whether it helps you pass, maybe not. Actually, just the experience on the road.
You've got. I don't mean it. You got to learn the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just learn the way, do the
and
test.
learn,
and you drive, obviously you drive. But
I think the safest thing about driving is when like you can predict other people's stupid mistakes.
Yes.
Like knowing the people in Spain go on the outside all the way around the roundabout.
Stupid.
So
you wait.
As you
every
wait,
time
I pause.
Wait. Yeah, I do exactly the same thing.
It's like if you
Mitch
don't...
goes, why are you waiting? I'm like, because otherwise someone's going to take me out. Because they will.
They will.
And
absolutely.
then I'll go, me.
Yeah.
This is me. And I'm
so
like,
many
does
times.
It make sense?
So it's like actually being aware.
Yes.
Is what's probably kept me safe.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Because I always.
I can be a great driver.
Yeah.
But it's other people.
I say it. I was literally said it out my mouth. Every time we talk to Mason, obviously, because he's on a bike, always say, it's not you, mate, it's other people. And I remember my mum and dad drilling that into me when I was it's not you, it's other people.
We trust you.
Yeah.
It's other people.
It's other people.
And it is, yeah. Absolutely. And even I remember soon after my sister passed her test, she was saying like, oh, like there's so many things I have to think about, and like people right up my arse. And my dad was like, don't care about who's behind you, care about who's in front of you, because it's different like when you go from a moped, but when you go to a car, like if someone hits you from behind, it's their problem. Yeah. Because they're too close.
But it's still a risk of a crash. But you're right. I do the same. Even when you're on, on that road that gets busy all the time, and you have to whack your hazards on, don't you, to make sure that they're slowing down behind you. That I just do it anyway because I just think people sometimes you're not, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's it. I always have a vision of like, but which way would I go? Is it safer to go into, but then the cars are coming that way, or is it safer to go off? But no, if I'm on the bridge, because then I'm just going to go off the bridge. This is me, obviously, way overthinking this. Never going to happen. But
I do that always, play out scenario.
Yeah, it is.
But that happened to my mum. She had quite a bad crash with. I wasn't in the car, but I think Rick was, and I think even maybe Connor or Rick's friend. They were on like a curve of a motorway as well. Wow. So cars were going like 80, 90 miles an hour. And she saw it coming because the car behind obviously hadn't seen that everything in front had stopped. And like, it's like waiting for impact.
Yeah. God, that's horrible. I haven't.
And I got rear-ended when I was pregnant with Hayden.
Got what? Oh, rear-ended. I didn't know what you said there.
Rear-ended. But it wasn't a bad one, but it was literally just outside the plaza. the car in front of me had just like slammed on its brakes and started to reverse to catch a space. So I've obviously stopped quite, abruptly. And I could see the car behind me. She wasn't looking, and I was literally waiting for it. So I let go of the brake, so it wasn't like too much of a slam. And she bumped me. I didn't get a mark on my car. Her whole bonnet was dented. I'm like, oh. I should have really, shouldn't I? Well, I carried on to my appointment.
I'd say that.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, so that's Mason. Morgan's leaving is going to
finishing junior school.
Yeah, that's
that
weird.
Does feel like a big change when you.
That's weird
because it's like
school style.
You're the oldest of like the school, and like you've got all your friends, and you're used to the school, you're used to the teachers, like everything's easy.
It's been years.
And then like
you start in life. Remember they start 3 here.
Yeah, and because they don't tend to change schools from the infants to the
so
primary
everyone
to
knows
juniors
everyone.
They're all
Although the teachers do change quite. No, he's had
like the school, the environment, like you're just comfortable, aren't you? So that is a big change.
I'm only saying it like that because he said to me today, oh, I've got like butterflies in my belly, starting to get butterflies, and I was like, why? Anyway, because my birthday. I was like, oh yeah. He goes, and I don't want to leave school. I was like, oh
yeah,
I
remember
that feeling of
I remember being his age, because at that age
I don't want to grow up in a way.
And your friends are everything at that age as well. And I remember I was finishing junior school, bearing in mind the same thing, having spent 4 years in that school, because in England, your infants is separate to junior school. So I'd done 4 years at this school, and we were all going to secondary school, and I knew like 95% of that school was going to one secondary school, and I was going to a different one.
So this is a little bit like Ruben.
Yeah, I was a bit like, not only is it like we're leaving, but like actually I'm leaving.
Yes. That everyday thing of, because school turns into just, I don't know, so seeing your mates, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I know
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. So going into secondary, I remember being petrified going into secondary school. To be fair, I didn't actually. I don't think.
No, I think you're all grown up, but then especially because you
walk
in at the youngest,
thinking,
and how self-conscious are you at that age? And then you walk in and there's all these like older teenagers.
And they're waiting for you. They are waiting for fresh meat kind of thing. I mean, it helped that we was girls in a way, I think, to be fair. But, just that.
And I didn't feel, maybe because, I don't know, because I've always been very mature. But I don't know, I didn't have that like cockiness, like rudeness to me.
No, I don't think I did.
So like going in, and I feel like everybody else was
like animals. Yeah, and I was this sweet little girl, and they were putting me in a zoo. Like, please, mommy, get me out.
That's exactly how I felt going into secondary school and going into my first Spanish school. That's exactly how I felt. I think I even told my mum it's like a zoo. Like they don't listen to the teachers.
You were sitting in that class watching everyone jump around. Like,
no, Spanish school was even worse. Yeah. But no, that's a big change, because like you say, you then go to being the youngest, being insecure, like not knowing things, not knowing even like the school building, even like it's a huge secondary school.
Everything about it. So that's a big change.
So exciting.
It is, and I want to make the most of the summer, because I feel like I've felt, especially Mason, and on my experiences, is that's where Mason's changed and grown up the most in the summer. It's such a strange thing of like, that change between.
That's weird, because I would have thought that the summer like stalls it, because you don't really do much.
I don't know, maybe because it's like, I don't know, it just feels like they go back and they're just so much more older.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I know they're in a higher, like an older class, what you want to call it. I know, I get that they are, and they are old. I get that too. But they're just seeing so much.
You see the development.
So I just want to hold on to that. And I think he does too, bless him, so that's nice. And he's got his birthday coming up with his friends, which is really nice. I still want to make sure that keeps, as much as they want to keep going on and celebrating. So we've got literally all that coming up. You've got obviously your
busy week.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Case, and actually I picked him up from school the other day, and I don't tend to do that much anymore, which is funny, because like his whole time at infants, so for 3 years, I dropped him off and picked him up, because I would drop him off on my way out to work. Yeah. Generally around like the time he finished school, I'd be heading back from appointments out to then go to home to do meetings and stuff like that, and do the rest from home. So I spent years taking him and picking him up, to then the minute I had Hayden, because my job changed as well, and then obviously we got the baby. So Liam now does it all. So on the odd chance where I don't have a meeting, I'll take like my lunch break at that time.
And then you realise,
and
don't
take
you?
him.
Like,
and then he was like, "Oh, it's a nice surprise." And I actually took Caden as well because I was trying to keep him awake.
Yes,
trying to drop that nap. So I took him with me, and he was like, "Oh, that's a nice surprise." And then he was like, "I'd like it if all of you came." So I was like, "Right, the last day of school,
that's it.
We'll all
well, that's it." And I always felt a bit like that. That's why I take mine in the morning, and then Mitch picks them up. But yeah, and try to obviously. Well, we're always at all the different shows and whatever else, but I thought that the other day. Friday is probably the only day now before which is tomorrow. Is the only day now before he finishes that I can actually take him and pick him up. Okay. Like of this school. Do you know what I mean? And just that really hit me. Like, oh my God. Just that feeling. It's just
yeah.
Yeah, I remember the parents telling me about it, but I've still got another little one, you know what I mean? But it's a really, really strange feeling. It's exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's just
someone messaged me and was like,
it's strange.
Like, "Oh, you're emotional for Hayden's first birthday." And I'm like, I don't know if it's just not hit me yet because it's tomorrow.
Yes.
But not really. And I feel like I was more with Kaysen, whereas I feel like I'm wishing a little bit of it away. Like it's gone so fast.
Yeah.
But I think because, he's much more hard work than Kaysen was, and he's crawling at the moment. So he's into everything. And like sometimes him and Kaysen play lovely. And then sometimes Kaysen wants to play with his Legos and Hayden's trying to eat it. Yeah. So it's like trying to then keep him occupied. And then he just does not play with toys.
No.
He's just not interested in toys whatsoever.
He's got a room
full of everything. And he just wants, as long as the hallway door's open, he's gone. So it's like you're just constantly chasing him at the moment. Yeah. So I feel like I'm wishing a little bit of it away.
Yes.
Which is
a shame, but we all go through that, you know.
Yeah. I feel guilty for it, but I think everyone.
Yes. Even when people, you see these, whatever they are, people say it's something. And I know, I get it, right? Yeah. But they're doing my fucking head in today, okay? Yeah. So no.
They are little shits today.
So, and there was yesterday, and they're probably going to be it tomorrow. And that's that.
And I love them, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't want any different, but I'm allowed to complain.
Yeah, you do get these moments of just,
And I think
then you go to bed and they're asleep and everyone's quiet, and then you're like, I just love you so much. Why do I think these things of you? And it's literally the cycle. Literally,
it is. It's tough because and
I said about it earlier, didn't I? About with Hayden. Well, just for example, with Hayden turning 1, and then obviously I felt with mine when you've got the youngest there, you've been so focused on kind of their milestones, or not necessarily, but because they're the youngest, and then all of a sudden you turn to your oldest one and you think, oh my God, like, how much you've grown up. Like,
it's I do that, like I say, because they have when you're that small, there's a lot of milestones, like weaning them off their bottle, sleeping through the night, starting to crawl, like there's loads of things that happen all at the same time, and not that you forget Kaysen, but it's like all of a sudden I just he asked me to play with his Legos the other day, and I tried to sit down with him, and then the baby's climbing up the chair. So I went, let me put him to bed, and then I'll play with you tonight. So I did that, and we sat for like 45 minutes playing with his Lego. And then just looking at him and the way he's talking and the words he's using, I'm like, what?
Yeah. My big boy.
Especially all the words from Minecraft. It's
he does anyway. Remember, he was showing me the other day, I think, and I was like, what?
Not just the names of material, the way even the words he uses, I can't think of examples now, but so the response to this is
not just the simplest of...
the reaction, I mean, they're even quite basic words, but some of the words, correspondence and words, I'm like,
how, where, and how, and that you use them in the correct,
and he's
context.
Using it in the exactly.
You know what I mean? Talking of words, you should share with everybody about you and Liam.
Oh, the debate.
Yes.
The debate. Yes. So,
because you've just, I haven't answered it, but you've asked me it. So
yes, exactly. So the debate is nice a compliment?
No.
Thank you.
I don't know if you asked me that actually or not, but
no. So right, let me give you context. Right,
Miss Morgan told me no.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
Well, I thought that the same thing happened to me in English class. Our English teacher, El Limina, I thought she'd give me that feedback on some work that I'd done, and it always stuck with me. She was like, nice isn't a good word. It's not a descriptive word. Like, it's rubbish. Don't use the word nice. I don't want it in any of your work.
Yeah, literally.
So
really
it's
drilled
stuck
into
with
it.
me,
yeah.
And I've never used nice. And even when I've texted, even when I've emailed, I delete it and I think of another word.
Exactly.
So I don't tend to use the word nice very much.
No, not
maybe the odd time. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. In passing,
but then again, if someone asked me something and if I used it, like, oh yeah, that's nice, but actually then I'd probably change it. Oh yeah, no, that's lovely, because I just don't feel I should use nice. It's better than nice. So if I'm using nice, I don't really like it, probably.
Yeah, or I'm not bothered by it. Either way. It's nice. It's okay. It's nice. Yeah, exactly.
That's like okay.
That is how I feel about the word nice. Yeah. And I thought it was just me. But then as soon as I said nice, you were like, English class. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So probably everyone that went to El Limina that had Miss Morgan does not like the word nice. So Liam thought he was giving me a lovely compliment by calling me nice the other day.
And I went, clearly backfired.
I went, nice? What do you mean nice? And he was like, he literally thought he was speaking another language. He was like, what?
She choked like, what?
He went, I'm
complimenting you.
Yeah, and I went, no, you're
not a compliment.
That's what I said. That's not a compliment. No. And he went, oh my God, you're acting like I just called you ugly. And I'm like, well, you might as well have. And he's absolutely complex.
Yeah, he's literally gobsmacked by that.
I understand where I'm coming from.
No, I get you. I completely get you. And maybe for the same reasons, like we said, it clearly must be a school thing for us, maybe drilled into. Is it? I don't know. You'll have to let us know.
I don't think it's
what do you think of the word nice? But I think in the way it was asked as well, the fact that you asked him a question, you asked him.
No, so how it came about was I was making a bottle before bed for the baby with formula, and I just said something like, isn't it weird that I never actually use my boobs for what they're for? Like, I've never breastfed.
Yes.
And then he was like laughed or whatever, and then I think I was like, well, at least they're like still intact kind of thing or whatever it was. And then he was like, well, at least you attracted me with them or something, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or that like they're still nice. And I was like,
it was going well. It was literally going well until that.
You were trying, but no. Nice. No, don't. No.
Nice.
Take it back.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's almost like an insult.
Yeah, I would.
I feel like you use the word nice when actually you don't really like something.
Yeah, I think
especially in the way that you look.
And I think in that conversation, he's going to literally kill us with it. We're literally digging him right out, and he's going to just cut it out. He can't, can't he?
You got nice. The greater.
Thanks your word, and I might take it.
No, it is not.
No.
Banging. That's what you want to use. That's what
I said. I went banging, amazing, even great.
Yeah.
Any of those words acceptable. You call your mum nice, like, you know, like a food nice, a smell nice, not your wife's boobs.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah. Like, if it had been like, oh, do you like my socks, my slippers? Nice. Yeah. Fine. Not my body parts.
No, yeah. Or I think, I think you're right. I completely get that. I think on a question, no.
Yeah.
That's my answer. I will just go in on that.
100%. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's so black and white obvious.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, I probably have had literally the same reaction at something with not Mason. Not Mason. Especially not Mother Eve, sorry. Sorry, Mason. With Mitch. They're all M's, all right? Is that is probably, I've asked him something, maybe like my hair. Oh, do you like my hair? Yeah. Because I've got it done. Yeah, it's nice. Nice.
What do you mean nice?
What do you mean it's nice? And then obviously I'd get like all stropped. And like
100%.
Yeah,
I did the exact same thing.
Well, why didn't you use that first time?
Exactly. Lovely. Yeah. Wonderful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's so many more words. Even fresh. I'd take fresh.
I'd take fresh.
Not
fresh
nice. God.
Nice.
Cup of tea is nice.
Yeah. Their biscuits are nice. They've actually got it on the front of them.
So yeah, Liam, take note. Any other descriptive word?
Lock that door. Don't let him back in.
Not nice. But nice is not a compliment.
No, I no, especially what in that
context. Yeah.
That'd be it. You're not going near these nice babies anymore.
I'll keep these nice things to myself.
I'll call your thing nice.
Exactly. Do you want me to call your thing nice?
No, because it's not nice, actually. They're horrible. They're ugly. Why? That's another thing. That's another thing. They're not. They're ugly.
No, they're not.
Don't send me them. They're ugly, okay?
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
People...
I love you and Nick, but they're ugly, okay?
I've spoke to, like, friends that have, like, been dating or seeing people, and then they get sent, like, dick pics, and it's like... Do you actually think that's like girls like that?
Yeah, that would make me. Ooh, that makes me go all weird. That actually don't. I'm gonna not stop.
That is a pure ick.
That really is.
If I was starting to date someone and they sent me a picture, I'd be like,
that would actually
blocked.
Well, it's good we've been with the same one for years, so we're alright.
Yeah. Like the other way around, I think like women's bodies are attractive, like. In terms of like lingerie and stuff like that I can appreciate a photo, but of that
no.
It's nice. Send me a picture of you, but not of that.
We're talking like we're dating. Don't send me any pictures, babe. I'm not seeing that.
I don't want them. I definitely don't want it nice. Oh god.
No, Mitch is the opposite. Mitch does things like when he's doing the house, doing the dishes, doing the vacuum, the hoovering.
He's trying to turn you on. I've seen that on TikTok.
That's literally me.
Like, the guys taking photos of themselves.
Pool time.
And then it's like the girl's getting all flustered, like, oh, he's doing housework.
That is literally me.
If you want to turn me on,
unloading the dishwasher,
doing chores,
hanging out the washing. Oh, thanks, babe. I love it.
Yeah, that I appreciate.
Oh, dear.
One other thing which you may have had with your kids, which if you have, please help me.
Help me.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Kaysen is picking every little tiny bump, cut, mole off of his body.
Oh, a mole.
He's actually had like a little mole on his chest, which he can't clearly see, and he's picked it thinking it was like a scab, and he's like nearly made it infected.
Oh, see, when you said
so, like, if he has a scab or scratch, he'll pick that.
Which, to be fair, I was going to say, if you know when things are healing, it can itch sometimes, or they kind of just mess with them, don't they? Because it's there.
He's literally picking scabs off every single day. He's not even allowing it a chance.
So he's kind of finding.
Sometimes it's
not
like a scratch that's already there, so then he'll pick it. But like this mole,
was not like even anything.
A little bump.
Yeah,
wasn't itching.
That's what I mean. So it was just finding stuff,
and he picked it completely off. Now you're going to say put plaster on it. I've covered him in plasters, but obviously at some point in the day at school, bath time, it comes off. I put it on. He'll go to bed. He wakes up without it on, and to the point that the one on his chest, like he had sores around on his skin because I'd put so many plasters on him, like again and again and again. The skin wasn't having a chance to breathe because he's picking it,
and it's not just in bed
before it heals,
kind of thing. It's all going
just the whole day at
the
school.
Telly, say, oh, okay,
Like for example, I can't monitor him at school. I catch him all the time. Like he'll be sat in the bath picking. He'll be sat on the sofa picking.
So he's
stop
finding it.
And literally, sometimes I can say stop, and I'll watch him, and then he'll go back to like whatever he's doing, watching TV, watching his iPad, and he'll start, and he doesn't even know he's doing it.
Yeah, so now it's become more of a habit. Then.
Yeah, which if it's a scratch,
is it like a subconscious thing? Isn't it?
It's like it's a
an
addiction
get it
habit.
If it was a scratch, a cut, because like you say, when it's healing or it's something different, but like you say, he's actually finding things, but he's not letting them heal now either.
No, because he's going again and again and again to the point that a little tiny scratch ends up like a big sore, and now he's getting scars.
Yeah, I was going to say it was scar.
But apart from plastering him,
I don't know.
What the hell do I bloody do?
I actually couldn't. I don't know. Do you know why? I'll tell you why, because Mason's 18. I've said I haven't got this one. Mason, like, goes like this with his knuckles. I think it's from playing on a game. I think, or like a nervous thing. I don't know. He's not really a nervous person, but you know what I mean? I don't know. It could have started.
And now it's a habit.
Actually thinking that, I think he has done it from quite young.
I've noticed him doing that for a while.
He has done it quite young, but this. So he's got like this scarred skin, really, because he's constantly...
Well, it starts off for something and then it turns into a habit and then you can't stop doing it.
Yeah. So I don't. I've put stuff on it before because the only thing I could do with the nails, obviously, you put stuff on the nails,
which
helps.
That definitely helps. Nails as well.
That does help, but they probably just Mitch was like it ruined your day. Like literally because he's had to have it on before. But the thing is, if you then eat something, obviously with your hands, for example,
it tastes horrible,
and then it goes in, you can't get that taste out your mouth. So he's like, you literally
strong, is it?
That strong, yeah. So that's the only.
He'd kill me if I did that to him.
It puts them off even letting me put it on them now because they're like literally, and you can't.
You feel like you can't even touch things.
Yeah. Rather than just let alone just put it, you can't even do anything. You know. But no, I don't know about that Scab one actually. Well,
I'm a bit of a picker as well, but like.
Now you're making me find stuff on there. Making me feel.
I'm a bit of a picker, so I get it. But like when it gets to the point where he's like, it's borderline like infected and getting like bigger than it originally started. Like now, like I said to him, now I'm serious. Now I really mean it.
Yeah, because
stop.
Yeah, it could cause something really quite.
I said to him, I'm like, you're going to end up in hospital. Yeah. You're going to end up chopping your arm off. I mean, I've not quite gone that far to threaten him. But I'm like, you're going to end up needing probably an injection or something because if it's going to get infected, you could end up like it's getting
and not having that habit of knowing that things have got to heal.
Yeah,
but also don't mess with stuff
because I don't actually want it to get infected and him maybe have like sepsis or something, which is deadly. Like things can happen, but more so like I don't want his body to be covered in scars by the time he gets older
of things that really are necessary. You know what I mean? Boys being boys, if they cut a ball over and cut, obviously. But...
No.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I don't know on that one. If anyone else would know, I actually. I don't know, That's a hard one.
It is hard because, like I say, plasters just don't cut it.
You can't,
and I can't watch it 24/7.
That's what I mean. It's a control. How do you?
And like, for example, at the moment, he's got one on his knuckle. I can't plaster his knuckle because it just peels off. I said to him, I got very close to him, I'm going to bandage you completely up.
Literally, put him like a mummy.
Yeah. I might have to threaten to bandage him, especially when he's not going to school. I might have to bandage him.
I'm going to go around, he's going to be sick.
And sometimes he's got 3 or 4 at a time. So,
one of these, and Hayden like tied like sellotape to the wall or something. I'm done.
Bad enough for you both. So yeah, I might have to. If he doesn't pay attention, I might have to bandage him just for the experience and see if that freaks him out.
Because they have it. I was getting with eczema. That's why they have special clothes and they have like mittens, don't they? But that's usually when they go to bed because when they're sleeping, it's that thing. Itching, but obviously this is different.
Yeah, because that girl from Towie, Sam Fairs, she's got a thing where she pulls her eyelashes out.
Oh, I used to do that, but I didn't have it wasn't because I had a thing. It's because I used to wear lashes. So I used to get the lashes put on, the individual lashes,
and then you sit picking them up.
I just used to go not just sitting there in my sleep.
Oh, in your
so
sleep.
I'd wake up, shit myself in the morning, by the way, because there's all obviously wake up and there's all these black things. You know, like I thought,
bugs.
Yeah, obviously at first, knowing how I am. But yeah, so in the night I was obviously doing it, but obviously because they shouldn't be pulled out like that, I was pulling my own out.
Yeah, when they're quite freshly done, you pull your own
and
out.
that's when the girl was like, I'm not doing you anymore. She was like, I refuse because you're ruining your eyelashes. Do you know what I mean? They're just, you're pulling your own out.
Yeah, no, she's got...
Oh wow! I didn't realise that was a thing. I've actually
I think she's gone to like therapy, hypnotherapy and stuff to try because it's while you're asleep as well, so you can't even try and tackle it in the day.
Yeah.
Because that when you said gloves, that reminded me. I'm sure when she had like a TV show, she talked about it, and she had like gloves that she'd have to lock on or something when she. I don't know if she sorted it now.
That's mad though.
For years, that's why she always wore. I think she's better now. But I'm just trying to think about photos. She's a bit more natural now, but. In the Towie days, she'd always have fake eyelashes because she has no eyelashes.
Yeah, so I just get lash lifts now.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't recently. Obviously, I haven't done anything recently, but had to pluck my own eyebrows the other day. That's how much time I haven't had.
Wow, that's a lot for you.
I know. I have to put socks on because my toes aren't done. But we have to wear sandals. It's 40 degrees outside.
I know, yeah. I've dug mine out, so yeah I feel like I need a pedicure. I painted in myself, but I need a proper... That's one treatment I do enjoy getting is a pedicure. I can't be bothered to go get eyelashes and
no, I get lifts because it's easier for me just to not have to do anything.
Yeah,
and to be fair, at work, it's the only thing you can see.
You get your eyebrows done as well, so it makes sense. If you're getting your eyebrows,
waxed.
Yeah. You get your eyebrows and then your lashes done at the same time.
Or threaded. Yeah, exactly. So I had to pluck them the other day. God knows what she's going to think of me when I never go back. You've touched them.
How dare you?
I had to. I could literally feel my patients just looking at my huge eyebrow. It was like, you need to go and get yours done, right?
One thing I did read that I wanted to share, because we spoke a lot about like just the mental load of being a mom and now, and all the differences that we have to think about when we parent to our parents parenting us.
Yes, because of the change in the world.
There's been a big change, yeah, exactly, with like the internet and social media and stuff.
Yeah.
And I read that millennial parents, so our generation of parents,
we are millennials.
Millennial parents is the first generation to heal from their childhood trauma while they're actually raising their own kids, and that results in more emotionally intelligent children, but also exhausted parents.
I was literally just about to yeah, right.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why you're feeling it harder, pat on the back, guys.
Yeah,
we're breaking cycles.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah,
I can actually.
Because if you think about it, especially like you could probably think about it in your own family, in your own friends, TV shows, everything that you kind of watch. Like, yeah, like grandparents and their parents, they're like, oh yeah, my dad was like that, and
this is how it is.
Like, like that definitely seemed to trickle on for like a long time. And then I feel like our parents maybe changed a few things.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they fully healed themselves or even knew they knew that they had childhood trauma. Some of them obviously would have known, but some of them I don't think were even aware of,
because a lot of times told to get on with it anyway.
Yeah, like boys don't cry, get up off the floor, like that toxic masculinity. That wasn't a thing. Nobody even knew that was you know a thing. But that is a bit of trauma. Boys have to go through. So no, we are the first to actually try and parent not completely differently, but take a lot into consideration.
What was this what was it on, like an article, like a it's obviously not investigation, but you know what I mean. It's obviously what's the word, you know what I mean, research like a thing.
No, it's it was something like that. It was an article, so
it's real.
No, it's definitely real. They've analysed it, and as a result we have more emotionally intelligent children. Because I feel like definitely in my household, like whenever there was stuff going on, it wasn't shared with us, but like you could feel it.
Yes.
You know, like if there was arguments, if there was stress, if there was, you know, whatever it was, family members not talking to each other, or, you know, money stress, whatever it was, like you could feel that your parents were stressed, but they, you know, everything's fine. Yeah. We're all good. Yeah. Like, I feel like there was too much of a divide in between what our parents go through and then
I also think some parents overshare.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
do think some parents overshare in the fact of there's adult stuff and there's child stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you should overshare, but in that situation, if our parents had gone,
I'm just talking.
Do you know what? Like we disagree, but you know, I've listened to it, I don't agree, and we're going to move on. Like, because otherwise you raise kids who don't know how to have a conversation with someone who doesn't have the same opinion as them, or, you know, someone's cut you up. That's really irritating, but I'm going to let it go. Yeah. You know, like you raise kids who don't know how to navigate the bad stuff because they've never been shared how to do that.
Yeah. To be fair, I try to, our household does actually try to talk over.
Yeah. Like you say, you shouldn't go into details about money stress with children. They shouldn't. They shouldn't know
the right way with the right child. Obviously, if it's a family chat, then it's different. We obviously, you know, pick and choose how we explain or talk about what we're talking about. Because obviously, you know, sometimes we'll have a word with Mason differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a bit older.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I think
he could
think
do
you're
with
right,
a bit
actually.
more context. And
when you say that, we are a bit.
Yeah,
I was the youngest, so I think in my house, I think if anything, I was probably more. Say sheltered. Let's maybe say that word. Do you know what I mean? Of stuff because I was the youngest, you know?
Yeah.
But I do sometimes feel like, although I don't want my children ever stressing about that because I'm stressing about that, if that makes sense. You just need to, like you say, have a chat about them just to know that.
Yeah. You just need to say like, oh, I've had a really bad day at work, but this is how I'm going to deal with it. You don't have to go into what's happened, but you could just be like, I've had not a very good day, but this is how I'm going to handle it, and this is how I'm going to make myself feel better. So that when they have a bad day, they're like, oh, what did mum do? Right, yeah, she decided to have a shower and put some music on, whatever it is. I was like,
I wouldn't have done that.
No, but yeah, whatever. Yeah. Like,
in that situation, she did this, and then she did this in this situation.
Yeah, like, so that they have something.
Yeah, or they can learn from it and not do that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the best way to deal with it, mum.
Exactly. No, yeah, that's a nice one to finish on. That is actually we're doing all right.
Yeah,
we're doing. I hope so. Anyway.
Well, I think that's another thing that I always hear, that, like, because always thinking, am I doing my best? You know, am I going to raise an adult who's going to be someone's husband and father someday? Like, is he going to be we come across adults in our day life and you think, God, what happened to you?
Yeah.
And, the older I've got, the more I realise it's not just, oh, you're an arsehole. It's, I wonder who hurt you?
Yeah.
You start to think a little bit more, like,
question.
Hurt people, like, an adult who throws their toys out of their pram is because, this happened to them when they were a child, they weren't listened to, or people pleasing. I feel like I'm a bit of a people pleaser because, I grew up in a bit of a chaotic household. There was 4 of us. We were very close in age. There was a lot going on and I was the oldest. So I was always like, if I'm good and make everything as easy as possible, then, people won't be stressed and it won't, will be less chaotic.
Yeah.
So I am a bit of a people pleaser because of that. That's how I coped. So again, had no idea until I'd seen things about, psychology and little things like that. As you get older, you think,
that's probably why I'm not bothered then, because I'm the youngest, no?
I was going to say, and I'm the eldest daughter. So when you look at eldest daughter traits, tends to be me to a T, exactly those things.
Yeah.
And my mum's an eldest daughter as well. So I think that's even more so because I've seen her and how she acts, and like, you're always the strong one and you just deal with it and nothing kind of bothers you. I'm fine. I don't need any help. I'll just get on with it. Keep everyone else happy, put your needs after everybody else. Those kind of things. Clearly I saw it, and then I'm the eldest daughter as well. So you kind of model it.
Yeah.
But I think that was what I was getting to, is the thing that I've heard is if you worry, if you're a good parent, you're a good parent because you're worrying that you're a good parent.
Yeah, because you care.
Because you care.
Yeah. That is, I do say that to mine. I'm not saying it to be annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying it because I care. Can you imagine me not? Can you imagine having a mum and dad that didn't care? That's what I say. So can you imagine
but
that
I don't
feeling?
think they see that.
No, they
even
don't.
Just saying that. It just reminds me of arguments my sisters had with my mum. On stupid things, like my mum's really against finance. Like, buy things when you can afford it. Like, don't finance up to your eyeballs because, like, there's no need for it. Within reason, obviously, houses and investments, that's different. But just, financing a sofa, financing a TV, financing a phone, like that all adds up.
And a lot of debt.
At the point where Rick was getting out of school and all her friends were getting their first jobs, they were just going out and doing all those things. And my mum was trying to tell her, like, don't make stupid decisions now because that's going to affect your credit, which is going to affect you being able to buy a house.
Which
like,
Rick probably heard was
exactly. Yeah. So she was like, she's ruining my life.
Yeah.
She's
getting involved, telling me what to do.
Yeah, she's too involved. She needs to let me do my own thing. My friends, this. And like, obviously, I'm 5 years older.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, Rick. And I'd be like, because she cares, because she loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
And it's nice that she has you as a big sister too, because you know what I mean?
But she just didn't. I think she gets it so much more now. And she obviously goes to my mum with everything now. She barely makes a decision without her. But it's funny. You go through that, like, late teens, early 20s, you become an adult, you get your car, you do. Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of you parent always, but I think a lot of the panic parenting comes in then, because it's like, you're now an adult, you can do things, you don't need my permission. Oh my God.
But some of it, not everything, I can hear my own parents in me when I'm saying it. Yes. And even my mum sometimes says, I sound like my mum. And I think I sound like you sometimes too.
And you know what they're thinking, like, whatever, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
just shut up. Mason just thinks you over explain and overthink, talk everything. You know what I mean? Rather than just say that, you say that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know, I just can't help it. I'm sorry. I just have to just make sure I cover everything. And he's like, I know everything. You've said it to me a million times.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. No, I think that's what I grew up with as well. My mum, like, saying this can happen, that can happen, like the bad side of things. So that, like, this is why I'm saying it. So it's like, you get it, but at the age you don't get it until you're older. And then when you get older, you're like, especially when you have your own kids, it's like, oh my God, Mum, I'm so
exactly.
sorry.
You can only just hope that
you know that from the minute you have your first child, you're like, now I get the stress and the worry and the panic and why you did what you did, and it's because you just love me so much.
Exactly that. Exactly. I never used to get the fact that my mum and dad couldn't go to sleep, or obviously my in-laws couldn't go to sleep until we got home.
Yeah.
That I couldn't get. I'd be like, oh, well, I'm all right.
Mum said that to me a few times. Like, message me because I can't sleep.
That was it. And now, obviously, well, you just got a bit early. We got a couple of years before, to be fair. But even that, I was just like, that for me was that I got that.
And again, you could do your very best as a parent. I trust you, but you're out in places with other people. You know, like anything can happen.
And it's just that even if he's not home and he stays out, so even if I just wake up in the middle of the night and I can't see that text on my phone going, I'm home now, good night, love you, for example.
Yeah.
That's all I need is to just, when I wake up in the middle of the night, but if I wake up in the night and I've got a message, then I'm going to freak.
And then if you flip it, they'll be like, Mum, it's just a text message. What difference does it make?
Exactly.
It makes a huge difference.
It does. It is. But obviously, not now they're going to get it. It's going to be a long while off. Yeah. But I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, you just have to... Yes, you just have to wait for the day where they actually get it, and then they come back round.
Yes, exactly. And they can come back.
I think I
will say thank you. I love you.
I did see something the other day, and it was like from like 0 to 6. I think like you're their world.
Yes.
Then from like 6 to like 10, it's like you're their
mate.
Like they're like they're still like their friend, but their friends are the most important. Then in teenagers, it's like don't want to know you, and then in your early 20s, you might see me for like occasions and holidays and birthdays and stuff. And then when you get past that, then it's like they come back round again.
Best mate.
Yeah.
I hope anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been quite close with my mum. I don't feel like I've had that distance.
I've done exactly what you've just said.
Yeah,
definitely, 1,000,000% with my mum.
Yeah,
1,000,000%.
Yeah,
I mean, my dad have always. It's just the thing with my dad, but yeah, me and my mum have done that typical.
Because as teenagers you clashed, and then you did the thing, you just depart and you come back,
and now we're close.
Which is, I think, the typical relationship. I don't feel like, I think maybe just because I am a bit more mature, less rebellious, but I haven't done that as much. But you still go from living in their house, then seeing you every day, to then not.
I had a child as well at 16 that my mum, I was at home.
Yeah.
And I still didn't think she was telling me the right thing. I know. All right. I know.
I'm 16 and I'm a mum. Yeah. You can't tell me nothing.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Oh,
God knows how off she felt. You know what I mean? Because I think I would have sat and cried my eyes out if any of my kids spoke to the way, how I actually spoke to my mum. Do you know what I mean? I would actually just sat and cried my eyes out. I could actually cry now thinking about it, to be fair, but luckily they have.
Feel bad.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, Mum. I love you. Most don't go into all that. But I don't have that much.
We love you, parents.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate you.
And hopefully our kids will appreciate us at some point.
Yeah, hopefully we're going into still in 10, 20 years' time.
Yeah.
They can come and tell you themselves.
Yeah, hopefully. They I said to Kaysen today, I was like, I don't know how it came up, but I can't remember how it came up. But I said something about, that was it. Kaysen was talking about, I was saying like, you're never going to be as young as you are now. To having these weird conversations. And then Kaysen was like, but you'll never be this height either. And then Liam was like, well, no, sometimes you actually grow and sometimes you shrink. Like, your mum's probably going to shrink to a little old lady. Imagine her as an old lady. And I was like, God, imagine being called like Nanny Billy. That just sounds weird. And then I was saying to Kate, and I was like, at some point, hopefully I'll be nanny to your kids. I was like, do you think I'll be as good nanny as your nanny? He's like, no.
No.
I was like, thanks.
Dig?
I think
to be fair,
understood the question.
His nanny's super cool.
But yeah, I was like,
come on,
fair play.
All you've got to do is mention something of a word. But we're going. Literally. Yeah. I feel like I just want to say like Jamaica holiday, all inclusive. And she'll be like, come on, let's go. I've got that child anyway.
Yeah. But then, isn't it funny? Because I'd say that I'm the organizer and the booker of our group.
Yeah.
Of friends and stuff. Yeah. Even the other day, I was like, this is going on, guys. Should we go? Should we book a table?
Yeah, I need to get things in my diary. Come on, everybody. Let's get organised.
You appreciate these people in your group.
You do. Otherwise, you are a good one for checking your diaries. Let's get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because I am all for it.
Yeah, you're always up for it.
all for it. Please don't get me to organise it. Like, even my head, I was like, I ain't doing it, all right?
Yeah.
All right?
Well, you're not even organising your wedding at this rate.
I'm not. But yeah, exactly.
I might have to step in and organise your wedding.
Let's not start on that. God, no. Please, I'm sorry, everyone. I have no answers, okay? No answers at all.
Right, well, I think we'll end on sharing with everyone that we hit over 2,000
I didn't know what
views.
you were going to share then. You're actually really scared. What are we sharing? What are we sharing?
2,000 views across all platforms.
2,000! 2K!
Have
2,000!
Listen to our podcast.
Yes. That's good.
Yeah, it's
growing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Growing.
Yeah.
So thank you guys again for your support. It means a lot. And yeah, if you keep enjoying it, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, keep listening, keep watching, keep coming in.
Keep coming.
I was trying to think of more tech words, but I can't. I'm rubbish
Just
at that.
keep coming, guys. Keep
nice, all right? It's nice.
It's a nice
Definitely
podcast.
Nice, all right?
Yes. And if you that comment, it's a nice podcast.
Don't
go there.
Don't do it. He's going to be the one that don't even do it. Okay? I love you, but don't. Right, we're going.
Mwah.
Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.